You know what I mean? And the state of Mississippi and all their goings on. For those that don't know, Brett Favre, 20-year NFL veteran, Hall of Fame quarterback, played primarily with the Packers, has been getting some money he wasn't supposed to be getting. I'll kind of let you fellas kind of dive into the particulars of it, but the long and short of it is he was getting money from the state of Mississippi and the powers that be that was appropriated for people less fortunate. And to kind of put context in this, Mississippi is the poorest out of all 50 states in the United States, and this the you know these are the people that he was stealing from. Keith, what's your take and your information on that, man?
All I know is Brett Favre been stealing from my goddamn family. That's all I know. Somewhere, Mississippi. Um, when you think of being about from the Midwest, um, we have this great migration. Um, you know, Everyone was leaving the South to go north to do better, and then as times have gotten better, a lot of those the youngsters, I guess you would say, another generation to have said, "Hey, let's go back south." But Mississippi still hasn't had any type of improvements. Like you said, they're one of the poorest states, and they are the poorest state in the country. Um, Point being is that I'm sure we got some bloodlines somewhere down there, and they're probably not doing so good, you know. And for you to say, "Hey, oh screw that, don't help the poor." How about we just pump that money into my daughter's school and my alma mater, so that we can improve the facilities? Really, that's what we got. Um, Nothing good to come out of. I'm glad it's getting traction. Um, I'm just glad it's getting traction because if what we didn't say, and I'm sure people, this happened almost 5 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been a while. Nate, what's your take on that, man?
Well, number one, I think we've all known for a very long time, and especially since there were two Bears fans. Brett Favre's a dick. Like he's been hiding behind this good old boy persona. Hey, he'd be fun to have a beer with thing, and he's been hiding behind that for a long time, doing shady stuff, like the whole Jets thing, like with sexually harassing women when he was a Jet. Um, and I'm sure there's plenty other things that have been buried. So there's that, and then like y'all talked about, this isn't just the poorest state. I mean, this is where welfare money. This is the poorest state and the poorest people of that state that you're stealing from. And it wasn't, and I don't want to go after Brett Favre on this portion.
I
I
do.
mean, well, no, and the reason why I say that is because, trust me, I'm not letting him off. I just know he's a dick. But the guy, the official that is doling out this money for speeching engagements that never happen. Why are we taking that money and giving it to rich people? And then why are the rich people taking it? Well, rich people take money. That's what rich people do. But why are we doing this? What was this guy's benefit in doling out the money other than probably taking a percentage and doing it that way? But then you have other people involved. I mean, of course, Brett Favre is the one overshadowing. I was reading an article, and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, Mr. WWE, you know, he got money from this, and they actually used, get this, they actually used money that's used for welfare, funneled it to Ted DiBiase's son, so that he could go to rehab at a luxury resort. So you send that money could have been. I'm sure that there are people less fortunate in Mississippi that needed to go to rehab. How many more could we have sent to rehab other than this one rich guy? Um, I mean, Bud Dupree, man. I mean, like, come on. They gave him a like 300 and something $1,000 so that he could build a house and a horse ranch. Like, It was so widespread, and yeah, the fact it took 5 years for us to figure it out is horrible. The fact that it's underreported on the news, like that's the other thing. This is underreported. This is a state committing fraud against its most vulnerable people. Like this should be on not on ESPN. I don't expect ESPN to report on. This should be on CNN more. This should be on Fox News, MSNBC. This should be on all of that, and all these newspapers should be giving us regular updates on this. But hopefully, Brett Favre go to prison, man. That's all I got. He should be in prison now. All these people should.
So to kind of give context to that, the officials so far, the former Mississippi Department head of Human Services, John Davis, has actually pleaded guilty to 2 federal counts and 18 state counts. Um, and then the actual former governor, Phil Bryant, was also included on this as far as that funding is concerned. Let's look at the numbers, right? So we know what we're talking about. The 8-month long investigation into the misappropriation of these funds found out that $98 million in total was given to 2 nonprofit community education centers, right? All but 4 million of that is in question. $77 million of that money came from the state welfare program. $77 million worth of money that was supposed to go to the most unfortunate people in your state, which Mississippi has a lot of, right? We all live in Arizona. We all know or heard or see people that need help on a regular basis, right? And we're not the poorest state. Imagine living in Mississippi, right? You'd probably see that on
I
every
can't.
corner. Right. 70 think about how much $77 million could do for people, right? That buys a lot of help for a lot of people.